Helps if you press go live button, doesn't it? Anyway, good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. I'm too busy reading the chat. The chat was quite funny tonight. So I thought I'd read the chat before I go live, and then I realised that I'm a couple of minutes late because I'm reading the chat. Don't swear. Anyway, there's loads of breaking Celtic news tonight. Lots to talk about. Could see us being on for the full hour or so. Anyway, Kieran Tierney was training with Celtic, even though he had the game off at the weekend. After arriving at Kazakhstan ahead of Tuesday's UEFA Cup game, UEFA playoff, UEFA Champions League, most important game until Sunday. We do go into the game and we need a victory. It's as simple as that. Kieran Tierney spoke to Celtic TV ahead of the game in Kazakhstan about the mood of the squad. Brendan Rodgers spoke about the mood of the squad. And it was good to see our little loanee from Man City on the training pitch in Kazakhstan. Oh, smiles. Really happy to be there. Kieran Tierney says, we know that it's goals we need by the end of tomorrow night. We let ourselves down in the first half last week. We could have played better. I think the second half was better. We were in control of the game. We need to have the confidence to go out there and score a few goals. That's a worrying comment from Kieran Tierney. We just need to have the confidence to go out there and score a few goals. This team never lacked confidence in front of goal before. Never. Ever. I can't remember a time where Celtic have struggled. I just think that was a bizarre comment by Kieran Tierney. It's a strange one. It is a strange one. But Kieran Tierney did say that. He says we need the confidence to go out there and score a few goals. We know exactly what we need to do in a 90-minute game. We need to go and win. That's what we need to do for all the fans at home. That's what we need to do for the 200 to 300 fans that have travelled here. And Kieran Tierney met up with Paul the Tim, as he does. As always, Paul finds out where the team hotel is and he fucking just swans in and, Kieran, go and come down and see me so I can get a picture, mate. Oh, you gotta love Paul the Tim. Brendan Rodgers' men have travelled over 3,500 miles for the game, and he dismissed any notion that the travel, he said what the travel did do, he said the guys got to know each other. 8 hours compact on a flight, heading all the way over there. It let them all get to know each other even more. You know, it was a good bonding experience for a lot of the newer players that have joined the squad. Asked about the squad, we'll get into that in a minute, but Kieran Tierney said, look, dealing with the challenges of a fixture like this, it's all part and parcel of being a top level club. And if you want to be part of more European success at the club, if you want to be part of European progression, you have to be positive. And we have to go out and win this game. You go to different places, you go to different time zones, there are no excuses. From what I saw last year and how far the club have come in Champions League and how well they performed, every year you try to look and be better than last year. That is our ambition tomorrow, said Kieran Tierney. When it comes to transfers, there has been some transfer activity. Brendan Rodgers had a little smile, a little giggle to himself when asked about the possibility of incomings. He laughed and said, by the time we get back from the trip, there should be a couple of things happening. One thing that Celtic have confirmed today. Yes, Celtic FC can confirm that Marco Tilio has joined Rapid Vienna. Best of luck to you, Marco. They said that means there's a winger coming in. We all know who it is. It's Bill Wisher. But there is other Celtic news out there that Celtic are close to agreeing the deal for the Boco Juniors left back. Isn't Kieran Tierney left back? £25 million sitting on the bench. Kieran Tierney. I wonder when Celtic fans will have a dig about all the money that's sitting on the bench. Because if this guy comes in from Boca Juniors at £5 million, when he's playing, £25 million Kieran Tierney will be on the bench. Let's see if that has the same reaction. I'm just being facetious, I know. But let's see if it does have the same reaction when we're sitting. And I personally have no problem with Celtic having £30 million pounds worth of players sitting on the bench, because it means that the players that are playing are better, and it means that the players that are performing are better. And for me, it's fantastic. So I'm going to have no more nonsense chat from now on to the end of the season. We'll have no more nonsense chat about how much money is sitting on the Celtic bench. There's never been a season or a summer like this one where Celtic fans have complained about £20 million sitting on the bench. There's been times gone by where we've had £60 to £70 million worth sitting on the bench and nobody's batted an eyelid. What they have said is they've said, what a fucking... Oh! We managed 5 minutes and 52. 5 minutes and 52. That's good enough. Anyway, people will say that, look, when you're sitting with that much money on the bench and people haven't complained before, it's all good. It is all good. Big up to Ian McDonald Super Chat from Ian. If Dyson's off, hopefully he's leaving us a leaving present tomorrow. Let's not even talk about that. I wish we had 3 million on the bench rather than in the bank, says Eddie. KT's getting 60 grand a week, not playing full games. Will start to affect the mood of some other senior players. No, it won't. You need to get, and I don't think that Kieran's on 60 grand a week. I don't think he's on 60 grand a week. Celtic would never pay anybody more than... There are no ways he's getting paid more than Callum McGregor and thingy. He'll be on 37. There's no ways he's on 60 grand a week. Not a chance. Celtic are not paying that to anyone. The year in Spain, Rangers is getting sponsored by Pampers. Stephen, that's quality. Anyway, back to more Celtic news. The fact that Anthony Joseph has said that Celtic are close to agreeing a deal for Bocco Jr.'s left back. Luckily, I've not got false teeth. I would just take them out. I would just take them out for the banter, and just be like a Rangers channel. Anyway. Brendan Rodgers plays the game with the players tomorrow at Almaty. The kick-off time is at 5:45 British Standard Time, 9:45 Kazakhstan time. Now, we've seen the training video that Celtic had just put out about an hour ago. It's nice and dark, which means it will be cooler. I'm not too worried about the temperature because it'll not be the temperatures. If it's 30 degrees during the day, it's still going to be around about 25 to 30 at night. Do you know, it's a lot cooler. With the wind and stuff, the night air, so that shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, coverage starts at 5:15 British Standard Time. You can watch it on Celtic TV. Sadly, Celtic supporters living outside the UK and Ireland cannot watch the Almaty game live via Celtic TV due to UEFA restrictions. However, the match will be on full replay. It's on BBC Scotland. So what channel is it on? TNT Sports. Sports Sound Radio. It's on Amazon Prime. The Celtic game is on Amazon Prime. Broadcast live on Amazon Prime. It's just, is that... I take it that's pay-per-view. Absolute nonsense, isn't it? Absolute nonsense. Unbelievable. Anyway, Celtic are preparing moves for a Senegalese striker. It's been alleged. I'm not going to go into it too much more because the source of it is questionable. Every single story they do is an exclusive, and they've had an exclusive that there's been about 20 players. I'm going to put that one to bed. I'm not going to give it any more room. I see a couple of Celtic blogs have jumped on it and quoting Football Insider. I think it's a nonsense article, and I think Peter O'Rourke is just I think he picks names out of fresh air, because some of the players that he's had Celtic signing allegedly this summer already haven't happened. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, Adam Ida, big question. Will Adam Ida start? Brendan Rodgers says, look, the difficulty with the temperature, the team must perform. That's it. The Brendan Rodgers interview earlier on, Brendan Rodgers said there will be no excuse for us, especially when you see how well it worked with them last week. They had to make the same journey the other way. Although the temperature's not as hot in Scotland, there won't be any excuses. You know, we're on our time zone. We're getting up at our time zone. We're going to sleep at our time zone. We'll play the game as if we're playing it at our time zone. You know, we're on our own time zone. We'll prepare well. There will be no excuses. Roger said that Adam Ida's back from knee injury. We can give lots of excuses. The heat, of course. It'll be warm. Obviously, kick-off. It won't be really... It doesn't wash, he said. There's no excuses. You go into games like this, we've got a squad of international players. We've got a squad of international players who are used to travelling. Ian Aberdeen's in the house. We'll talk about that in a minute, Chill. We'll talk about who I think we should start. But Brendan Rodgers does says we've got a lot of international players in the squad. You know, you prepare yourself physically and mentally for a trip when you think about the Japanese boys, when you think about the South Americans we've had. And, you know, we've got a squad full of international players that are used to travelling. So using that as an excuse just will not wash for them. I'm excited to see us play under a pressure game. Brendan Rodgers is excited to see how this group of players perform. Because you've got to say that last season, when they went into the pressure games of the Champions League, some of these players performed pretty well, although some of them have left, quite a lot of them. It's now this new group of players' chance. Celtic manager says, we know where we're going to be, and they're going to be a good side. They're going to be hard to beat. We didn't play our level, especially the first half. The advantage of two legs is that you get a chance to see the opponent up close and personal. We know that they're going to be really hard to beat and to break down. I told you all that before we even played them the first game, but it is what it is. Certainly, we never disrespected or underestimated the team. It was all about us not performing to the levels that we can, said Brendan Rodgers. The Belgian winger Michael Ange-Bilwisha is expected to sign for Celtic within the next 24 to 48 hours. The player said his farewell to the Royal Antwerp fans at the weekend. A left back coming in. We need another winger to come in and maybe a striker, and that'll be us. When asked if there was any progress, Brendan Rodgers laughed and he said, I think the time we get back, hopefully we'll be close to one or two things. And then that was it. He just laughed. And Marco Tilio has finally emptied the building, vacated. So Ian Aberdeen, big shout out to Ian Aberdeen. I just seen that super chat. Cheers, mate. Ian Aberdeen super chat. I don't have 20 million sitting on the bench from a wee team. I'm so glad to send you a tenner and wish you well for tomorrow. Thank you, Ian Aberdeen, you millionaire in disguise. You could have used that and bought Rangers all those years ago. Just saying. Thank you for the super chat, mate. It's much appreciated. Anyway, let's jump into the comment section and seeing what you lovely people. Imagine that the away goal was in place. We were happy with a draw and an away win. I've got a feeling we'll score a couple of early goals, says Big Des. Altitude will be an issue. Better start quick. Altitude will not be an issue. It's only about 800 metres above sea level. Do you know, it's not thousands and thousands of metres. It's only about 800 metres above sea level. Do you know? Is what it is. If he starts tomorrow, it's a total kick of the balls for Kenny and Shin, to be honest. I think it'll have a lot of people going into meltdown if he starts the game, and it'll have a lot of people in meltdown if he doesn't start the game, having £9 million players starting the game. Imagine the way it goes in play. Yeah, read that one. Danny Cassie's going for 3-0. 1-0 would do. Should we do a score prediction? There's another. Is this the same striker? Let me just see this. Oh, fuck off. See the amount. Why are so many people going and taking the word of a publication that's got it so wrong so many times? So many times. It's like an old boys act. Do you know, it's like they're all in on it together. Yeah, we'll all publish the same story. It's like, he's one of us. He's a good journal, talking shite journal. I'm not even looking at any more of the alleged transfer speculation with that player, because like I said, where it's coming from, I don't trust that at all. Don't trust anyway, the Carrot Squad management. I think they're going to beat us, no problem. And pace cake comments about us would be a pace of cake. Michelle, you watched the game against Slovan Bratislava, and you seen how dogged they were. Do you know? I mean, they're not a daft team. I mean, I think a lot of Celtic fans definitely got a wake up call in the first game. I mean, I never. I mean, I said that the warning signs were there. I said if we play at our best, we can beat them, but we didn't play at our best, so we got what I expected. Paul Baird says defeat tomorrow night should be bye Brendan Rodgers after the game. No excuses will be acceptable. Oh, thrown down the gauntlet already. Last week's prediction was just to win, no injuries. No predicting this week. I Josh. Thank God I'm drinking water. Fuck. Oh my goodness. Ian Aberdeen's just broke the internet. He'd rather shag sheep than buy Rangers for a tenner. It's on Premier Sports. Wex says it's on Premier Sports as well. A lot of comments. Maida through the middle. Yeah, I don't think they'll play Adam either through the middle. Altitude is the issue. Sligo boys making excuses already, saying that altitude is the issue. Not for professional sportsmen. Not for professional sportsmen. And plus, they would have been there. They trained there tonight. They've been there, more than 24 hours already. No excuses. No excuses. Did you know, like Brendan Rodgers said, altitude, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse at all. So stop talking about it. Flying columns in. Time to show our balls. Not literally, of course. You get banned for that kind of shit. But yeah, the team really need to show their cojones. Yeah. As long as the win says Jade's Celtic girl. Yeah, it's a case that apparently there's a nice wee pub outside the grounds. No idea. Lorna Gallagher's going for 2-0 the Hoops. Stephen Johnson's going for 3-1. Danny Cassie's say that Adam Ida's going to score 20 goals just to noise everyone up. Danny, I still think he'll score 20 goals this season. We do the same as last time. Adam Ida starts. If no joy, Maida through the middle. I would say, I think that you're wrong to just change like for like and one for one. I think that Brendan Rodgers will. We tried it during pre-season. We put two through the middle, and we changed formation slightly. You know, there was at times we changed to a 3-5-2. I think that there's more chances changing to a 3-5-2 type thing than anything. I think Brendan Rodgers will go all out for the attack. Will he play 3 sentinel defenders at the back, push Kieran Tierney further forward, and drop Tony Ralston to the bench to go 3-5-2? This team will sit in, so you wait and see. Michelle Shaw is going for 2-0 Celtic. Interesting one. The game's going to need Joseph Davidson. I need to speak to you about Torrox, mate. I'm trying to look for. I've got one contact down there that I'm needing for something. I'm needing other people that stay down there for something. So if there's any way you can get in touch with me, that would be great. It's going to need the whole squad, especially the bench. Yeah, is that 2-1 the boys? Says Thomas. No. Oh, don't go to no. They're good on penalties. I'm just saying they're good on penalties. They'll fancy their chances on penalties. Celtic to win on extra time. Rab's coming up with his team already. Casper, Anthony Ralston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Scales, Kieran Tierney, Kalmak, Engels, Hatate, Benji, Kenny, Dyson, Maeda. I don't think Benji's as good on the wing. I know what you're saying, but it's a tough one for the manager. If you change the formation slightly and you can go 3 at the back and flood the midfield, do you know what I would like? But will Brendan Rodgers change the formation? I don't think he will. He'll go with the 4-2-3-1 formation that we all know that he will. So for me, that means that Benji will start back in the midfield and getting the late runs into the box, which means Yang will start. So it means that Arne Engels will probably drop to the bench, I think. I would like to see Arne Engels start, because Arne Engels' delivery from corners, they've got a good goalkeeper for corners. We need to have the best delivery we can for corners. I don't think that Benji cuts it for corners. He's not as good as Arne Engels. He's just not as good as Arne. You need Arne Engels to take the corners all day long, because Benji's just not as good. Celtic Man says, just win tomorrow night, don't care about the score, get back to Glasgow safely and prepare for Orc Castle at the weekend. Stoned Outlaw says he reckons 3-0. You're looking at Vardy talk. Seen so much at Ulsana. Nah. I don't think there's more chance of Vardy happening than the Senegalese striker that all the Celtic media have jumped on. That's how confident I am of the Senegalese nonsense, because it came from a website that consistently puts out exclusives. Every headline, exclusive. This player's signing for Celtic tomorrow. Fucking never happens. 2 weeks later, the player's signed for someone else. Maybe a matter will be overconfident. Here's hoping, Square Sausage, can they open up a bit? Bobby Reid's going for 2-0. Sligo Boy goes 1-0. 96th minute. Own goal by Mankini. They do have I think that if we're going to score realistically, Callum McGregor has to shoot from outside the box. Benji has to shoot from outside the box. I'm even going to say that I think that a goal from our very own Kieran Tierney from outside the box, it's the only way that you're going to get the breakthrough in this team. You're not going to get the breakthrough walking the ball into the box. You're not going to get nice tidy passes in the box. This team are too organised. They're too solid at the back. They've been through this various stages. The fact that Brendan Rodgers actually got on the phone, the dog and bone, to his mate down in Chelsea to find out about this young boy and about as much information about the team as possible. Brendan Rodgers has taken this as serious as he can, because he knows that this team are ultimately no mugs, and that prepare to fail, and you fucking hell. It's any score will do. Dyson's going to score a pizza goal. Yep. Hope so. One coming in for the back post, maybe. Anyone who gets to play, I don't know, Bam's simple. Yeah, exactly. Apparently Almaty fans don't even like football that much. They filled their stadium. They've completely filled their stadium the last game against Bratislava. So I don't know where you're getting that from. They're smart, but just playing to get to penalties. I'm not wanting to play to get to penalties. I don't want it to get to penalties. I never seen the Bratislava games. It's Chilpil. I did, and it was as ugly as the first half at Celtic Park for 90 minutes. When Bratislava played them there, it was an ugly game. When Slovan Bratislava played at home, there was 47 fouls in the game. 47 fouls. 6 bookings for the Kazakhstans and 7 bookings for Slovan Bratislava. It was just a dirty game. It was unbelievable. And they'll play the same way tomorrow night. They'll know that, that they're 90 minutes and extra time to get into penalties, and they'll take their chances at penalties. They'll take their chances at penalties all day long. Anyway, we jump back. The Baz, remember, said it was bottling it for Europe with no new signings. Yeah. Well, I hope that the new signing thing doesn't come back to bite us on the bum, because the players that we've got in the squad should be good enough. But it's all about attitude. The attitude wasn't there the first half of the game, and especially at Celtic Park. Now, is this going to be one of those seasons where, and we've seen this before with Celtic, we play better away from home. Celtic Park, we play woeful. The pressure of all those fans not singing, and all the fans at Celtic Park, just the anxiety of the fans. We went through, I can't remember what season it was. We did this a couple of years ago, where away games, we were fantastic. We played with a swagger. We played, the support that go to away games, they back the team, they make the noise. They're right up for it. There's going to be 250 odd Celtic fans there tomorrow night. They're going to be right up for it. They'll let them know that they are in town. They'll let the team know that they are there, and they'll be vocal enough for the team to make sure that the team are motivated by the fact that these guys have done all this travelling to get there. That gets the old chin up. That gets the shoulders back a bit. That's like, we better perform for these guys, because these guys are they've spent a fortune coming over. And it's going to, I think it's going to be one of those seasons again. I hope it's not, but I just think, I've just got that feeling. I mean, we'll still win the league. I'm not disputing that. We'll still win the league. Man for man, we're better than them, more experienced. So was Slovan Bratislava, mate. They had millions of pounds worth on the pitch. They had a striker that we were going to pay between 5, 7, 8 million for. Strelic. He did nothing. If you think Adam Ida's bad, Strelic was even as just as bad as Adam Ida against this lot. He had one good header, Strelic, and he put it way wide. He had one good header, and he put it wide. Let's just hope that we do not put it wide tomorrow. Let me just see that. Remember, I'll have a couple of first picks out. Sligo boy, I'm just winding you up, mate. A tenner. Ian Lorna says a tenner, you would get $9.99 change. I'm worried about what I've done in the biz at home. You're worried about we should have done the biz at home? I don't. It is what it is. Do you know? It is what it is. But anyway, we move on swiftly. I'm going to jump through these comments. The words for we dodged the bullet with the Strelic. Yeah, we did that. We did that. Anyway, where's the poll? The poll. Has he signed for Celtic yet? I did a poll. Can Celtic win by more than 2 goals tomorrow? There's been 261 votes. 70% say yes, 30 said no. So that is it. Done and dusted for this evening. It is all about tomorrow now. It won't be 32 degrees. It's 9:45 their time. It'll be around 20 degrees. No, it won't. Because the temperature here is still about 30 degrees at 9 o'clock at night. It doesn't jump down that much. It'll not even be 20 degrees during the night, mate. I'll tell you what it is just now, actually. Oh, it is. It's down to 20 degrees. It'll be around at 9 o'clock at night. It'll be about 23 degrees. 9:45 kickoff. So you're looking at around about 23 degrees. That's fine. That's fine at that time of night. The cold night air. Do you know, that's nothing to worry about. So I'm not worried about the temperature. It's not as if you're playing 33 degrees during the day. Do you know, it's going to be 33 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time to get to the game tomorrow night. Nice and cool. Anyway, thank you everyone who's watched the video tonight. Yeah, I was going to stay on time up for an hour, but my throat's and I'm going to be on for hours tomorrow. So I've got to pace myself because I'm going to be live tomorrow morning. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll be live in the afternoon to get a little bit of an update. We'll be live an hour and a half before the game. We've then got the watch along tomorrow night also. And then there's the video afterwards. So give us a break. I'm going to be on YouTube more than anything tomorrow. I've even got tomorrow night's dinner in already and stuff. Snacks and stuff. And beers already. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.